There was a point in my life when every day felt like a copy-paste version of the last. Wake up, phone, eat, scroll, do something forgettable, sleep, repeat. It wasn't depression. It wasn't burnout. It was worse. It was autopilot, like I was alive but not living. One day, this strange question hit me. Am I an NPC in my own life? It sounds like a joke at first, something you'd hear in a meme or on Reddit. But when you really think about it, it gets darker. What if you're not the main character of your own life? What if you're just reacting, repeating, existing, without ever choosing? This video is about that question, and about how a 1999 sci-fi movie and a French philosopher from the 1940s completely changed the way I see myself, and maybe the way you'll see yourself too. For me, the shift started with The Matrix. I'd seen it before. Most people have. But I didn't feel it until I was stuck in my own version of it. You know that weird tension? Like something's off, but you can't explain what. Vector felt it too. His life was a loop. He worked, ate, slept, repeated. But deep down, he knew something was wrong. And so did I. I didn't know what I was searching for, but I knew I wasn't free. You are a slave, Vector. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage. That line? It gave me chills, because suddenly it wasn't just a movie, it was a mirror. So what exactly is an NPC? In gaming terms, a non-playable character. They're part of the game world, but they don't make decisions, they just react. They follow a pre-written script. They exist only to serve the player's story. But look around. How many people live like that? Wake up, do what they're told, chase validation, consume, conform, no questions, no resistance, no curiosity. And then I had to face it. I was one of them. I was following a path designed by someone else. Parents, school, society, algorithms. I wasn't thinking freely. I was just complying. That's when I discovered Jean-Paul Sartre. He's the father of a philosophy called Existentialism. Sounds heavy, right? But it's simple at the core. Man is nothing else but what he makes of himself. In other words, we're born free, without meaning, without purpose, without identity. No one writes your script. You do, or you don't. And if you don't, someone else will. Sartre calls this bad faith. It's when you lie to yourself to avoid responsibility. When you pretend you're not free so you can stay comfortable. That hit hard, because I realized that's exactly what I'd been doing. I wasn't lazy. I was afraid. Afraid of failing, of choosing wrong, of standing out. So I let life happen to me, just like an NPC. In The Matrix, when Vector takes the red pill, he doesn't wake up to glory. He wakes up to pain. He's cold, alone, naked. The illusion is gone. Waking up in real life, it felt like that too. When I finally started questioning things, my habits, my goals, my identity, it wasn't liberating at first. It was terrifying. I realized I didn't know who I was without the script. I didn't have answers. I had to build a new story from scratch. And building anything real, that takes time and pain. But here's where the real transformation began. Every time I resisted the urge to scroll, every time I journaled my thoughts, every time I went to the gym instead of staying in bed, I was rewriting the script. I stopped thinking in terms of comfort and started thinking in terms of choice. What do I want to value? What will I sacrifice for my freedom? What kind of life do I want to wake up into? Sartre said existence precedes essence. That means you're not born with meaning. You create it, and you do it through your actions, not your intentions. Each choice was a rebellion against being an NPC, and over time, those choices became me. So, Are we all NPCs? Maybe. At some point, we probably are, because it's easy, safe, familiar. But here's the twist. We don't have to stay NPCs. Every moment, we're offered the red pill again. To wake up, to think for ourselves, to build, to become. You don't need permission to be free. You need courage. And that starts by asking, am I living a life I chose, or one that was chosen for me? That's the real matrix. And it's not in the future. It's right now, in your phone, your feed, your thoughts, your fears, and your freedom. So no, you're not an NPC. Not if you're here. Not if you're questioning. Not if you're choosing. But now you have a decision to make. Will you go back to sleep? Or will you keep building the life only you can live? If this video woke something up inside you, subscribe. Join this journey. No more autopilot. No more hiding. Let's be conscious creators in a world full of scripts. You are not an NPC, and neither am I.